Hello and welcome. I still have some residual snot left from this cold I've apparently had for a week, and this is a daily race on Gran Turismo. I don't upload a lot of daily races. I've mainly been sticking with FIA, and if I do daily races it's usually in a stream. So hey, here I am trying something else, and it's in a car that I've typically not enjoyed. They have fixed it a little bit since it first released. I really didn't enjoy it when it first came out. It is of course the F1500T, the GRX car that is put into the current daily race C, and it's around Brands Hatch, which is a really cool old circuit that Formula 1 did used to come to back in the day. So bit of a tricky car to drive, but hopefully I've got a few tips for you that might be able to help you out. I am by no means about to put you, give you some tips that'll put you in the top 10 ranking leaderboard. Let's see what sort of times they're doing. Yeah, they're doing 109s. That's a ridiculous time that I'm not going to come anywhere near whatsoever. So if you're looking for that kind of advice, wrong video. But if you're just looking to get started, trying to understand these cars, It doesn't look to be all that popular. There hasn't been a huge amount of people doing it. Even the daily races are not seemingly all that full at the moment. So I thought with about 3.5 minutes left on the clock, hopefully I can try and take you through one hot lap before I do start the race. The actual race itself is 15 laps long. It sounds a lot, but remember it is Brands Hatch. These cars are relatively quick, so you're only doing sort of 1 minute 13s, 1 minute 14, so it's relatively fast. Fuel consumption's only on 3 times, but these things do drink quite a lot of juice. They've got a big donk in the back with a turbocharge, ramming all that air in there, so it needs all the fuel mixture to go with it. It does suck a bit of fuel, and it's 13 times tyre wear on this one. I did have my phone cheat there. 13 times tyre wear on this one, so tyre wear is actually not too bad, but these things are pretty crazy to handle as they are. Now, a couple of tips straight off the bat. Car settings. You can actually level up the car in both power level and weight reduction, and you are able to modify the power ratio, so you can crank that up to 100%. Weight reduction, you can crank it down to 100. Now I've actually decided to run traction control on 1 because it's just a little bit, like I did about 10 or 15 practice laps in the car just to try and get a bit of pace up and understand the car, and I did it on medium compound tyres, which is there's only medium and hard to choose from, so there is no soft here, which is fine. But I ended up putting the traction control to 1, slightly more controllable, and I went a little bit faster. And sometimes, you know, there's all about having your E-pens, and you know, flashing that around. But sometimes you just want to go as quick as you can, and the best way to do that sometimes is to add a bit of traction control, which for a beast like this. Now, the first thing I would say is it is a little bit, can get a little bit of brake lock. So try and do all your braking in a straight line if you can, or at least a lot of it. And it's same with acceleration. You want to try and do that. If you watch out of this corner, and this is my worst corner on the whole track, but watch the actual throttle pedal down next to the speed on the right hand side. How I'm pretty much at 3/4 till I'm through the corner, and then you can finally flatten it. It's a lot about gearing in this car as well. It takes so long to change gears. You don't want to be doing a gearbox tap dance if you don't have to. If you can stay in one gear, it's probably going to be the faster method. And in fact, another little tip, this curb up here, you can actually nom a fair bit of that, which I haven't done there. But you can take a fair bit of that. Do I have time for one more flying lap? Possibly. Let's try. Let's see how I go. So third gear here. You could go back to second, but it just takes too long. A little bit oversteer on the exit there. Third gear is the right one to be in. Okay, so as you can see, a very, very small field here of mixed DR classes. It could in part be the time of the day that I'm doing it. I also just don't think this is going to be a particularly popular one. It just seems like it's not a car that a lot of people gel with well and work with, which is why I'm hoping this video can help you out throughout the week. Maybe just give you a bit of a kickstart, come to appreciate these cars a little bit, because they are tough to drive. But yeah, you can see those top 2 guys I raced with again. So this is my second race of the day. I did a few practice laps and then the first race, which I actually managed to come second, which wasn't too bad. But I'm up against the top 2 there are the same 2 people as well, and they I would have liked to have improved my qualifying time a little bit, but that's okay. So Nocco was the fastest, but he made a lot of mistakes, and WTRU 9 was the winner. He actually went well. So we'll see if I can't exact my revenge on Wutru 9. And see if Nocco can keep it all together. He's going to be very tough to beat. If he can put together a solid race, he's actually going to be quite tough to beat because he's very, very fast. That 13.7, I think I have more than that in the tank because during the race, on the second last lap of the race, I actually set a 113.8. So only a tenth slower than my qualifying time, which means if I hadn't have talked my way through that practice session, obviously I only had a couple of minutes between races to jump back in. I think I know I've got more than that in me. I'd like to think if I actually strung all three good sectors together, I'd potentially get a 112. And, with a bit more practice, even faster than that. But those top 10 leaderboard times of 109s, mate, they are tough. They are good times. And I would like to see how they're doing it. But unfortunately, a very skint field. But, let's look at it as a bit of an old school setup. Often when they have these old races and things at race meets, you only get small fields because there's not that many of the old cars left available. So let's pretend that that's the case. See if I can't get off the line all right this time. Important not to bog it down. I've got traction control on 1. Not too much throttle here. I got a good start, but very messy. And a lot of understeer, a bit of contact. Oh, mate, dive bombs are up the inside, so I'll just thank you very much. Give him the over and under. So this was old Nocco, who he's comfortably the fastest. Just trying to take it easy on my first lap here. It's very easy to over-accelerate. And whilst there's no tyre temperature in Gran Turismo, I swear sometimes at the start of races, the tyres do feel a little bit cold. Yeah, so this guy is the fastest, but he just made a lot of mistakes in race 1. So the most important thing I can do right now, I think, is just to try and stick with him. Try not to hurt my tyres too much. So old Wutru 9 has unfortunately dropped back. I'd say he was caught up with a bit of shenanigans at turn 1. It looked like there might have been a few heroes trying to grab some spots. It's good for me, since he was the man I had to beat. And there's that mistake I told you about from Nocco, as I run deep into that corner. So now I just need to knuckle down, put my head down, try and have a good clean race. And my main challenge is definitely going to be the man who's just taken second position, 4.3 seconds back at the start of the race. He'd be feeling relatively confident because he had that pace over me in race 1. But I made a few mistakes, so let's see if I can string together a decent race. Minimal mistakes he will catch me, he's faster, there's no doubt about it. But hopefully with him having to push so hard, he might make the odd mistake or two. Oh, as I get a little bit sideways over the always treacherous turn 1. Not an ideal line through there either. This is my worst corner. I just never seem to be able to get right. That's where I was losing a lot of time to the man who is in second. 3.5 seconds. You can feel the ominous. Where'd I get that from? You can feel the ominous feelings that I'm going to struggle to hang on to this lead, especially if I keep making little Little mistakes like that, you're down to 3 seconds. He wasn't impenetrable last race. He did make a mistake that cost him about 5 seconds, but I unfortunately was too far back. And I think I'd made a total of about 10 seconds worth of mistakes. But unfortunately, it's going to be one of those races down to 2.8 seconds. .3, 2.4. I got a decent drive out of there that time. No, he gets the most phenomenal drive up through here. I don't know if he's done something in terms of setup to his car that I haven't done, if I've overlooked something that he hasn't. But his drive out of that turn is good for 3 or 4 tenths over me generally. He's an A+ ranked driver, so he's a better driver than me. Look at that, down to 2 seconds now. He's definitely got the pace over me. It's going to be tough. All I can do is race clean and then try and defend for my life when he gets there without being a dick about it. It's important to note that there's taking a defensive line and then there's blocking. I'm obviously going to try to not block or do anything that would be classified as a dick move. He's just absolutely flying along at the moment. Oh, as I run deep into that. I tried to take it in third. I should have gone to second. Look at this. He was down to 1.4 seconds before that corner. I got a bad run anyway. There's down to half a second. Such is the immense drive he gets out of that turn. Oh, and that's... ran out of grip. Running out of grip. Ran out of talent before I started the race, I think. So there you go. I made it nice and easy for him. What I was about to say before I fell off the track was you get the impression it's not going to be a matter of if, but a matter of when. And then I just handed it to him. Continued to make more gearing mistakes, like really being in the wrong gear out of a corner like I was just back there. It's huge. It costs you a second. That's exactly what it cost me. I went from a second down to 2 seconds down just via the exit of a turn. So, unfortunately, all I can do now is hope that he makes further mistakes. Or further mistakes. He hasn't made any yet. I have. For the second race in a row. I think that's the hardest thing about racing against people that you know are faster. You know they're doing better lap times. Like that was a 1:13.5 I did. I went 2 seconds quicker in that lap that he overtook me on. No, the lap before, sorry. Which he still cut something like a second or more off. 1:13.5, 2 tenths faster than my qualifying lap. And that was in fact, I think, only 2 tenths slower than his qualifying lap. But he's done a 1:12.8 in race. So you can see how much more pace he's got than me. These things are a bit of a pig on worn tyres. So hopefully... looks like he has made a mistake somewhere because I've gone from 3.5 seconds behind to about 1.5. As I go massively too deep into that corner. It was too deep anyway, plus the front left is not hooking up that well now. But now that I'm a little bit closer, you might see the immense drive he gets at it. Oh, that's the worst I've ever taken that corner. He just gets the best drive out of that corner though. Look at that, he'll pull the better part. I know I made a mistake, but he will pull the better part of a second on me out of that corner. Tyre wear is getting pretty bad though. This is where mistakes will start to slip in. Whoa, that's a bit of a cut. Didn't quite mean to do that. I was going a bit slower than I thought. Looks like he is struggling a bit with tyre wear too, because he's rolled right out of it. Is he going to pit this lap? I am. So, I've burnt more fuel than I did last race. So last race I was stuck back in the pack a little bit behind people, working my way through, and I only had to put about 3/4 of a tank in. This time I've had to put, well, damn near a full tank, so I have munched the fuel up compared to last race. But that should hopefully get me to the finish line. And I actually gained about a second on him. Oh, what was the SR down arrow for? Unsure? Whoa! As I say, I know there's no tyre temperature in Gran Turismo, but I swear, brand new fresh tyres for the first half a lap or so do feel a little bit slipperier. Not sure if they've added in some kind of artificial lack of grip to start with, but that's how I'm feeling it anyway. So down to 4th, but I have pitted. So this outlap's actually pretty critical if I want to even consider a win again. Almost cut that again. But you saw how much I took, how big a chunk I took out of that corner. Not that I would encourage people doing the wrong thing or cheating, but you saw how big a chunk I took out of that corner. And not get penalised for it. So everybody's in the pits. I've actually overtaken him in the pits. I did that last race as well. So he must burn some fuel up that I don't. Because last race, again, I reckon I took 2 seconds off him out of the pits. Somewhere close to that. So it does put the advantage back to me in first position as I run on the dirt. But whatever he's doing to get his drive out of here... Oh, he's made a mistake, actually. He's dropped back further. Maybe suffering from that same slippery tyre issue that I was just discussing on my outlap. Let's hope he doesn't hit his stride again. Oh, shouldn't have gone down a gear there, and I lost a few tenths to him. Gearing really is such a vital part of this track, and you can see every time I bugger a gear up and go down one too many, I lose half a second. He's back down to 1.2. Did my best to get the best run out of there. But look at that, just strip it down from 1.2 to 0.8. Oh, bit oversteer. Very quick snap to catch that, and a bit more there. Does not help when you're trying to defend a position. As I come up against lap traffic for the first time. I think last race I lapped up to 5th, and there was actually 9 people in last race. So this one there was only 7, wasn't there? And I suspect, given that I never saw 7th. Oh, nearly ran onto the grass. So let's put him right behind me now. So he goes the big dive bomb. That was stupid of him. Whoa, that's contact. Left him plenty of space there. Oh, 5-second penalty. Oh, I can't wait to see that on the replay. In fact, through the magic of editing, let's have a look at the replay now. Was that my fault or not? Right, so here's the replay. We can see coming down the hill. He goes up the inside. I give him space. He runs well wide. I stick to the inside. Yeah, he moves back across on the track. Let's... Okay, so this time we're going to watch it from his perspective. You can see how close he is through turn 1. He's getting pretty eager. I try and cover the inside line. He dives up the inside, gets his braking way too late. Cuts back in. Yeah, so I've left enough space. He's, for some reason, he has, rather than sticking to the outside of the track, he's moved right back in towards, yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of a racing incident. So with the replay done, obviously I haven't seen it because I'm still racing. I feel, and I probably already made an idiot of myself if I made that mistake. First of all, if that was me, then I am sorry. But I feel like I left enough room on the outside of the track there. But he will well and truly comfortably drive back past me as I serve this 5-second penalty. Which I feel is a little bit harsh. And the worst thing about it, although he had to serve a penalty there as well. So that's interesting. We both served penalties. There's no way he just slowed down and let me keep that. But the worst thing about it, of course, is the fact that my DR would have just got absolutely hammered for copying that penalty. And that's the biggest shame. I'm up to 42,000. Probably for the first time in my Gran Turismo career, I'm starting to think about actually putting an effort in towards becoming an A+ driver. Look at his drive he's got down here. I'm going to have to stick to the inside because he'll just drive down the outside of me. I will say he's a bit impatient, old mate here. Left him room on the outside of the track again. He's had to back out of it though. He's a bit impatient because he's got pace over me. If he actually lined up his overtake properly and did it in a sensible part of the track, he would absolutely romp past me. But he keeps trying to do it in stupid spots around the outside. Now, even if that was my mistake before, and I do owe him an apology, I would give him some racecraft advice, and that is be a little bit more patient. You've got speed over me. So why not just tee up your move? See, if he follows me out of this corner up here, don't try and overtake here. This is a stupid spot. There we go. Oh, I'll bug it up anyway. See, he just had to wait. But what he should have done is, rather than getting impatient, oh, on the marbles, oh, no grip at all. And actually, third place is right behind us now, having both served that penalty. So suddenly I've got a bigger issue to worry about. But I do love how my race just suddenly goes to shit that quickly. 2 laps to go. But what old mate should do there, rather than getting impatient trying to overtake me around the outside of the corner or stuff it up the inside with a dive bomb, he's made another mistake. Perhaps struggling on those soft tyres. Let's see if we can stick with him and give him something to chew on for the last lap or two. See if I can't get a bit of a suck job off him. Never actually going to overtake there, just showed him the nose. Just trying to destabilise him like he did me. That was awful out of there, and I've given him space coming into his strongest corner. But what he should have done if he was behind me is come out of here full bollocks, and if he was close enough to me on the exit here, you'll see him just march away from me. He could have just driven around the outside of me. And that's where good racecraft comes into it, understanding where you're faster than your competitor. Not getting impatient, desperately trying to get past them anywhere that you're faster, because there might be lots of spots that you're faster than your competitor, but if it's in a corner that's too hard to overtake on, or you've got to try and go around the outside, then you shouldn't be there. But I think that is going to be race over. He has more pace than me. At least I've made the race interesting. And his mistakes have helped to keep it interesting as well. See if he swears at me after the race. Oh, she's getting sketchy. Under acceleration now. So it is the final lap. 2.5 seconds down. Old mate behind me I didn't have to worry about in the end. He's made his own little mistakes there. And dropped 10 seconds back. So very small field. I would have liked to have beaten him, but DR would have taken a pounding this race due to the penalty that I got for contact with him there. I'm looking forward to seeing the replay to see if I was at fault. If I was, obviously, shout out to him. He's quicker anyway. He's a quicker racer. So it was fun. Show him about the penalty, but we kept it fun. We kept it relatively interesting, which I'm happy enough with, given how much faster he is than me. But I'm going to go and watch that replay. Yes, only 7 people in the field is not great. And Noko was actually one that dropped out. I'd imagine once he made a mistake, he dropped to the back because there was only 6 people running. So really bad lobby sizes. It's probably the time of day. It's probably a bit early for Japan, the Japanese, to get up and about. And yeah, I guess it is what it is. But hopefully you did enjoy that racing. Hopefully you picked up a few little hints and tips that might help you through this race for the remainder of the week. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you have enjoyed the race, actually, remember to give it a thumbs up. Hopefully I don't get too many thumbs down if the replay did reveal me to be at fault for that accident. But yeah, do appreciate it. Hopefully you'll join me for... I've got a stream coming out later tonight. Again, this video will be posted most likely after that, tomorrow morning or something like that. But whatever. Remember to hit subscribe if you're new. Check out my content. But for now, I think that's going to be about it. So thank you all very much for watching. A second place with a bit of a hit to DR in the beautiful pink GRX. It's a good track though. The car actually suits the track. It's an old school car. It's a small track, but it's an old school car, and they would have raced on something like that with similar sort of lap times. So that's quite cool. Oh, I'm nearly level 40 as well. There you go. Nearly at level 40. So that, anyway, if you have stuck the video out to the bitter end, especially this last part where I'm crapping on, appreciate you being here. The magic word, let me know that you watched to the very end. The magic words to put down in the comments today is going to be swinging nutsack. So pop that in the comments, let me know that you're here. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. But for now, it's goodbye.